So, I'm about to settle in for the night. Gather the kids around though. I've got a story to tell. So, gather them around. Are you ready? Uh, I don't know really what happened here. That's the thing, and I might need help. Of course, you weren't there, and I don't think I seen exactly what might have been going on. But I'm pretty observant when especially when I'm out. I'm looking for stuff. Stuff that would interest me, and even earlier in the day, where the snow was melting, I was taking the shapes of the melted snow and making them into look like people. Some of that shape looks like a person, and that just keep myself occupied in between, communities. So Stony Nation now. I left Canmore this morning. 31 kilometers is what the it mapped out, what the GPS said. But yeah, trying to keep myself occupied. And you see beautiful stuff. And it's sad for me because I'm leaving the mountains. It's nice. I do like them. They're beautiful. It'll be good to get back into the rolling prairies as well and back to Calgary. And of course, to get back and sort some things out and plan ahead. But I had a nice little distraction. I love crows. I love ravens. If I see them out there, I'm going to watch what they do because they're so interesting. And I watch a lot of them, like their actions and what they do, and what they say. And if they're the only thing around to talk to, I let out a wah, like ka ka ka. I do that. Try to talk to them. They probably just think I'm stupid. But one was a raven was following me around there as I was going up the road, booting along, moving around, circling. He would go and he would land by the side of the road, and then he would fly around, do a circle around me, and then land on the other side of the road, and all of this. And I thought it was kind of strange. Like, I know, like right now, I'm the only person out during this weather. I didn't see a cyclist. I never seen anybody outside of their vehicles on the side of the road, unless they're purposely leaving their vehicle to come talk to me. There just wasn't. So I was thinking, well, maybe the raven is just a little bit more curious to see what I'm up to, and maybe during the summer months, people are giving them food or something. I don't know. But he seemed awfully curious. It was about 5 minutes of this, and then he kind of went on his way. And it wasn't too long after, like maybe a minute after, I hear a squeak. And like I am pushing my stroller along, as you see. So it squeaks a lot, but it wasn't coming from the stroller. So I'm like, I turn and I look like what was that? And it sounded like a bird chirp, but it also sounded like kind of a cross between the bird chirping and the sound of a that my stroller makes. So I'm like, that's kind of odd. And it didn't do it once; it did it a couple of times, like within maybe even 7-10 seconds apart. Well, no, I'd say even more than 10 seconds between each squeak. I'm like, what the heck? And I look and I see nothing. So I'm still motoring along, and I finally just a few seconds later kind of give this last glance just to see, like, really, what was that? And here was a mouse scurrying down from the road, like just a couple of feet, trying to make its way through the deep, deep snow and down the bank. And I'm like, well, where did that mouse come from? Did I pick him up? Did he jump in after the food in the bottom of my stroller or something? And I thought about it. I'm like, well, where would I pick them up? The service station? At Dead Man's Flat. I think that was the last time at that point I stopped. And I'm like, well, where else would I pick them up? Other than that, I can't imagine a mouse jumping in there. So I'm like, but it. I started putting two and two together. And this is where you can try to figure this out because I don't think he came from beneath my stroller. And I think that that raven was actually watching that mouse. And I was trying to put it together, like, unless that mouse was, sitting in my stroller going, to you, raven, teasing him or something. But what I really think, what I walked in on was the raven trying to get that mouse and eat it. And what I think happened is the mouse seen my stroller going by, something bigger, something larger, something that the raven isn't going to try to attack. And I think that little mouse was actually following me along behind me. Why it squeaked like it did, I don't know. I think it was, there's one of two things that I think occurred there. Either it went, yee, the raven flew away. I can't believe I pulled that off. That is so awesome. I'm still alive. And so maybe that first little squeak was woohoo, and maybe that second little squeak was, I think I got to thank this guy. Like, thank you so much. And then it scurried down his little way. I mean, that's the way I got to explain it. I can't imagine him jumping in there, and I think I would have heard him rustling in the bag. The bag's in. I didn't. I never heard a thing. And my ears are pretty tuned in because they have to be because I'm on the road. So, if anything that this trip has done, I've saved a mouse. and I apologize, Raven. I have sweet potato fries. If you would have followed me along, I would have gave you some. But you're going to have to look for a meal somewhere else, and I guess it's not going to be that mouse tonight. But that's cute. Again, that's not the reason I haven't come across here to save mouse, but if I can save a mouse, that's great. I did collect a few donations here that I'm going to be giving off to the Rick Hansen Foundation here. I don't know what this trip was training. It really was to just go out and see what I'm able to do. But it's nice to pick up a few donations as well, and I will, I think, shortly transfer that off to the account I have set up with them, and so that's good. lots of good things happening on this journey. I'm really beat though. It is day 7. I have not dropped the kilometers below 24 kilometers. And I think probably my average would be, I think, what I want it to be, which would be 26 kilometers per day. And with all the talking and the people that I'm meeting. So, I mean, this has been a test, a tour de force, if you would. Of just testing it out and seeing what is capable. So it's good. It's going pretty good, and I'm going to sleep well tonight, get my rest, and smile away. And I haven't had any close calls or anything like that myself, but I'm sure glad that little mouse. I'm going to remember him or her. I'm not sure. It never stopped and talked. Besides going woohoo. Thank you so much. You saved me. And went on his little way. So cute. Anyways, have a good night, folks. It's good to chuckle. Little mouse.